Hi, I'm Dr. Chobot at Covington Veterinary Hospital. I'm here to talk with you today about the most common cat behavior problems. The first is scratching. We want our cats to learn the appropriate scratching surfaces and not to scratch your prized furniture. So one of the first things to do is to give them the right surfaces to scratch on. Most cats prefer the cardboard scratchers, but every cat is a little different, so giving them a variety of surfaces to scratch on is a good idea. And also, some cats are going to prefer vertical and some cats are going to prefer horizontal surfaces to scratch on. So you may want to give them a variety of options and locations where to scratch. Also, you want to make scratching in appropriate areas less comfortable. So you may want to put double-sided tape. They sell this to prevent scratching online, like on Amazon, and you can apply that to your furniture to make it just less fun to scratch areas that you don't want them to scratch. The other thing is to not give them attention for scratching inappropriate surfaces. If you do catch them scratching something you don't want them to scratch, trying to redirect them to the appropriate scratching surface. So using treats, rewards, attention. I've even gone over and scratched the scratch board myself, and the cat comes over to see what I'm doing and rewards them for scratching appropriate surfaces. You may also want to apply catnip a couple times a week to the scratching surfaces, and that really encourages them to be interested in those scratching surfaces regularly. Enrichment in cats. This is a really fun thing, and so we're just starting to treat cats more like zoo animals, that they're in an enclosed environment, they don't get to be out in the outside as much, and they can get bored and stressed and overweight. And so using enrichment makes their lives a lot happier, more fulfilling. So a normal cat that's outside would catch 8 to 10 mice per day. So reproducing that inside, my favorite way to do that is with the Doc and Phoebe's indoor hunting feeders. And they're basically these cute little blue mice, and you put their kibble inside those mice and spread them or hide them around the house, so they have to hunt those mice down and play with them to get the kibble out, and then they have an opportunity to feel full from that snack and then wait a little while before they go and hunt down the next mouse. And these mice are proven to help reduce anxiety and stress and just generally improve quality of life for cats. Certainly you can use other food enrichment toys as well, balls, dispensers, and really just having regular playtime with your cat, like dawn and dusk when they're naturally going to be more active and playful, and having that be a regular playtime that they can count on to get some of their extra energy out. Litter box management for cats is always an interesting thing, and cats always have different opinions about that. So most cats, though, are going to prefer a larger litter box, usually 2 times the length of their body, so that they can be really more comfortable in that litter box. Most commercial litter boxes are not going to be that size, so you really have to search for larger litter boxes. They are going to prefer to have it be clean. I don't know about you, but I really do prefer to go to a clean bathroom, and I think our cats really are the same. So scooping that litter box once or twice a day is really best, and cleaning the litter box out completely once a week is also recommended. And there are new litter robots out there that can really help keeping that litter box clean a little bit easier if that's something that your cat really likes. We also recommend that you use a clumping unscented litter and avoid any harsh chemical smells. So they don't want a very perfumed smelling bathroom, so their little noses are very sensitive to smells, much more than ours. So having it be unscented and not perfumed is definitely preferred for most of our kitties. And then having it in a proper location is very important as well. And so not in a high traffic area, somewhere where they can have a little privacy. And you may want to actually have one more litter box than you have cats, and having them spread around your house in different locations. For example, one on every floor if you have a multiple level house. And that way all the cats have opportunities to have a bathroom break that's convenient for them, that they don't have to travel far to. If you have some cats that have conflict, you want them to each have a litter box close to their areas so they don't have to go close to the other cat that they might get into a little discussion with. And so having lots of litter box options is the best idea for your kitties. And counter surfing in cats is another behavior problem that is very common that I talk to clients about often. And we actually had this issue in our house with our cat Beans pretty significantly. So one of the first things is to prevent there being anything on the counter that they might want to get into. If they find food 1 out of 100 times in searching, it's going to continue to reward the behavior and they'll continue to search for that. So part of it is management and making sure there's never anything on the counter that they want to eat. And then the other thing is to teach them where you want them to go. So I would really recommend that you have a cat tower or a perch somewhere close by the kitchen so that they can be close to you when you're working in the kitchen. And then really rewarding them for being up on that surface with treats and attention and play, and making sure that that's an alternative option to being on the counter. Cats really do prefer to be on high places where they can feel safe and see what's going on in the kingdom. And so having another alternative is a great idea. And then you may also want to make the counter areas that they're going to less fun. So one of the great ways to do that is double-sided tape, and just makes it a little bit sticky and uncomfortable that they may not want to be up on the counter and it doesn't feel as rewarding to them. And then if you're a cat that's really stubborn about it, they do have motion sensor air canister sprayers that do go off if your cat is up on the counter, and it'll just mist out a little hiss of air that should scare your kitty and encourage them to stay off the counter. So I do encourage you to use that instead of maybe a water spray bottle, just because we don't want any form of punishment to be associated with you, because that can cause damage to your relationship with your cat. And also those motion activated air canisters, they tend to be more consistent. So you're only there to spray the water bottle when you're home, so they are not punished for being on the counter when you're not home. So you really want something that's consistent all the time. But certainly if you have any questions, feel free to contact Covington Veterinary Hospital.